got to remember Lieutenant Sulu from Star Trek. Well, he's really gone off into outer space. He thinks naked men in front of children is just fine. And we have the video. Well, my favorite show when I was a kid was Star Trek. And, the original Star Trek with Spock and Captain Kirk and Sulu and Chekhov and Bones McCoy and all that. Scotty the engineer.
Before they went woke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, George Takei, he was Lieutenant Sulu, became Captain Sulu. Now he is activist Sulu.
Yeah.
Who's gone extensively woke to the point where he's getting crushed. I mean, crushed on social media, and with good reason. There was a pride parade. I believe it was in Seattle, Washington. And it was families invited, mothers, fathers, their children, straights, gays, everything, which is great. The part I have a problem with, and I'm interested in your opinion here, Will, is how do you feel about men getting totally naked in front of little children with mom and dad? And before you answer, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Including HIV, viral hepatitis, and cancer.
That's completely disgusting. What I was going to tell Barry is that there's a video where this guy calls the police department. I think this was in Seattle. They actually did it in New York too. But this guy calls the police department and he asks the police department, if I were to go out into the street and take all of my clothes off and just, start naked, butt naked, will you arrest me? And he said, yeah. He said, it's against the law. And he said, well, how come y'all didn't arrest the guys that were butt naked in this parade? What I was saying, Barry, in this video that I just saw, this guy called the police department, was asking him if he went out in the streets butt naked, would he be arrested? And the police officer was telling him on the phone, yes, you would be arrested. And he said, well, how come there was police officers all at this event, guys with their genitals all hanging out, children everywhere? How come they weren't arrested? And he go, well, you're talking about the Pride Parade, right? And he go, yes, I'm talking about the Pride Parade. And he says, well, they do that every year. He says, so let me get this straight. So every year during their parade, they can go out there and be completely naked when any other time it's against the law. You got children there and they won't get arrested. And the police officer on the telephone go, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So George Takei, who was Sulu, he tweeted a defense for the noon bicyclists. This is what he said, quote, even if there were no naked guys on bikes this year, they, meaning the right, straight people, would find a picture or generate it and push the same agenda anyway. You can't fix it by calling for self-censoring. So in other words, you can't publicize the truth because the bad guys like you would fake these pictures. So George says you might as well just let them out there because whether they're real or not.
I mean, he's really saying this? He's a total idiot.
I'm reading the quote.
He's a total idiot.
Of course he is. I liked him better as Sulu. At least somebody wrote his. At least he wrote his own. He didn't have to write his own stuff, Ben Shapiro wrote about that video. Yeah, sure. Gay dudes naked on bikes in front of children is happening. But if it weren't, the right would just artificial intelligence into existence. So I guess we shouldn't stop doing it. In other words, Lieutenant Sulu, Captain Sulu is saying, It might have happened. It might not have happened. But even if it didn't happen, they'd fake it anyway. So let's just let naked people ride around on bikes. That is their position.
That's completely bizarre. I mean, so let's just go ahead and do it anyways, because they're going to say we're doing it.
Right.
We wouldn't be saying they're doing it if they were not doing it.
Oh,
I mean,
you're so
it's
nice.
it's almost like this, Barry. It's like they're jumping off the cliff. So maybe we should generate images of the fiddler playing the flute with them jumping off the cliff, because that's what they're doing anyways, right? Why would we even waste the time to do that? They're the ones doing it. They're giving us talking points. We're not making it up. We don't want to talk about it.
Oh God, we sure don't. And I got to tell you, if I was a mom or dad or grandpa in Seattle, I would be very, very sure that I'm not taking my children to a bunch of fat, old, naked men riding bikes in front of my children. And I don't know if you could hear it, but when I was doing the edit, you can hear the children screaming and clapping, thinking it's just so amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can hear all of it.
They're being groomed as 5-year-olds to think this kind of behavior is normal.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And they see all of them like being happy, gay old time, right? You know, all the colors, the unicorns, everything is just happy in this. Those people over there, they're not happy, but we're happy.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say other than I'm disgusted, and I'm not sure what to do about it, because apparently we're making these things up, you and I and the other crazy people on the right. I don't know. I don't know what to say truthfully.